Hi guys, welcome to Straight News TV. I'm Ian. As you can see, yet again, I said in the last video that I'd be joined by Joey this time to preview the West Brom game, and Joey's joined us now. How are we doing, pal?
Good. How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. It's a bit late at night over here, so we're actually recording this in advance of tomorrow when it's going out. But yeah, it's a bonfire night over here. It's been quite a long night, and I'm absolutely shattered. But we'll carry on with the procedure of building up really to West Brom tomorrow. Will be tomorrow by the time you guys watch this, and I've sort of named it another win could help us find form, and it could. There's no way around that. That is two winning. And it can help us find form. I just really hope it does, because I thought after the performance against Everton that we'd kick on. Now the City match wasn't that bad, honestly, wasn't that bad. But I think the strange thing about it was the fact that from that we didn't kick on again. We didn't take the positives from that match and just go and sort of like do a really decent job against Middlesbrough. And we seem to have gone back in a lull, and then bloody Moscow came, and that was 70 minutes was pretty much of a lull and major relief when Rooney scored. So yeah, I think we need to find some form. We need to find some winning form, especially the up and coming games. I am a bit wary that the fact that when West Brom came last time, we got beat at home. And I've just been looking at whoscored.com, and they're suggesting that because United are not really having so much joy about these teams that are lying so deep across the park, they're lying deep and then playing us on the counter-attack. They might line up in a 4-4-2 formation, which would be actually quite strange in the Premier League now, because 4-4-2 is just dead and buried, you think. But if they did that, then they've got two really good, Berahino, Rodon. He's on there as well. He's scored one this season. So yeah, I think in actual fact that's an assist, not a goal, and it's actually 3 goals this season, the same as Berahino. So they're actually quite split in how many goals. So yeah, I think that there is a bit of a danger about West Brom. What would you think about West Brom, Joey?
Yeah, I think they do have two good strikers up top who can score. Berahino can create stuff out of nothing. He's pacey, he's tricky. I think they will try and line up deep, hit us on the counterattack. I think that's been, since Van Gaal's taken over, I think that's been teams' MO. Especially the lower sides, when they come to Old Trafford, they line up, sit deep, 2 banks of 4, and they say, come and break us down. Now, prior to signing Martial and Lingard coming into the team, I would have been really worried. But now I'm not so much, because I feel like Lingard's got that bit of trickery, and I expect him to start out wide. I think he'll go with a similar lineup from the CSKA game. And now you have Anthony Martial, who picks up the ball and goes out wide, and he'll get at their fullbacks. And I just feel like those two can help unlock that West Brom, bank of 4 that they'll line up with. But yeah, like you said, the 2 strikers up front, they can score from anything. So I think that'll be the worry. They've won the last 2 games at Old Trafford playing us. So and given our form, you can never be too, confident going in. Am I confident? I'm always confident when you're at home playing these sides. But I just want to see some exciting football. But I think it's just going to be the same. I think, United will dominate possession, pass the ball around, keep it very well. And it's what they do in the final third. If they can create enough chances and take their chances. When they're taking chances and they're making chances and they're banging in the goals, no one has a problem with this style of football. But when there's a dry up of goals and creativity, that's when you're going to get, the boos. So it'll be interesting to see, which United side is going to show up, but it's going to be which United side in the final third too, I think.
Yeah, me and Pasha discussed that about the CSK game, about how the fact that we do. In actual fact, the bit that we didn't touch on in the CSK game was the Smalling clearance. And obviously that Smalling could be key a game. Well, it's going to be key anyway. But he was definitely key in that situation, even if Ashley Young was falling all over the place across the line to help him in that scenario at that time. But yeah, I think the suggestions that Jones could come back alongside him and we possibly see when taking out this team, which might be a bit upsetting. I could understand Rojo being left at left back because he's had a run of games there at the moment. And you don't really need to be playing. Well, I think this is more the fact that we've not got Damien on the form that I thought he was going to do. When he first played his first few games for us, I thought he was going to be consistently good. He's just going to be at a level about a 7 out of 10, and he'll play at that all season. He seems to have dipped a bit in form recently, which is quite frustrating. But Ashley Young picked up the game against the CSKA Moscow brilliantly. So yeah, I think that final third, like you're talking about there, Joey, is key. It really is key in the sense that Lingard, you said it. I said it on my bit that I written for Strictly News. I mentioned this in the previous video. That he will take what Van Gaal says with a pinch of salt, and he will then go and attack, and he'll go past people, and he'll take the risks that you need to take to create chances. Now, over the past couple of games, we've increasingly made more chances. We've just not finished them. Like, there's been a certain amount of balls went in the box that have not picked up. Mato in the CSK game got on the end of one, but couldn't get his foot to it properly. There was another one that went across the box that ended up just being knocked wide by Rojo with a header. I said that in the previous video as well about the trainers on heading training needs to be done this week. I'm hoping that Louis van Gaal's done some heading training because I think that could be key. But I think the only addition that I'd add to this team would be to bring Sneijderlin back in. He'd like Sneijderlin in the Premier League ahead of possibly Carrick because he played Carrick and Schweinsteiger, but I think Schweinsteiger can get through more games in the Premier League for a longer period and can sustain a real decent level. And I think he plays a lot more better with Sneijderlin there than Carrick does. And I've been disappointed with Carrick recently, but against Moscow, he picked out a couple of decent passes, a couple of long-range ones that he used to pick out when he was in his heyday. And in actual fact, that might be a point in taking Carrick out. He's going to be up against Darren Fletcher, who's going to know his game inside out. Putting in Schweinsteiger and Sneijderlin in there, who he's not been up against forever, or he's not been up against Schweinsteiger for at least a couple of years. That could be the difference that makes a midfield battle less of a battle and more of help that controls the game. How do you see this one playing out? Do you think we've got enough there to go for the win? Not that we want to go for the win. I think that's crucial, but would you say that is actually enough? Obviously, Johnny Evans returns as well to Old Trafford after him moving over to West Brom during the summer. So that's another face that will reappear on Old Trafford pitches, and sure to another quiet standing ovation, shall we say.
Yeah, he's prone to a mistake too. We know that. So I expect Van Gaal, knowing Evans, will probably target him with Martial. Probably get Martial out there running at him, put him on his heels. I like what you said there. I agree Schneiderlin has to come back in. I'm surprised not to see him start the last game. I wouldn't start Carrick either just because he hasn't been 100% this year in maybe fitness and form. Obviously he's getting older. It's not the Michael Carrick that we're used to seeing. But Schweinsteiger and Schneiderlin for me too in the midfield. I think they would be able to run rings around Fletcher and whoever his midfield partner will be. I just think that we can't get caught on the counterattack. I think that's our biggest worry. I think there's no reason when you look at the teams, and forget the money spent, just looking at the players, there's no reason we shouldn't be coming away with 3 points. Like you were saying in the first little bit about the run-up now until Christmas, it's very winnable. And, I don't expect to win the league, but I still want to, be in the conversation in March, April. And I think that this team should be able to be in the conversation, also depending on what Arsenal and City do. I mean, we just saw Arsenal get annihilated the other day by Bayern. What's that going to do? And I think that, City are suffering with injuries right now. it's a shame that we didn't really go out there and put it to them in the derby, because we could have built a nice little lead for when they do get Aguero back. But, like I said, I don't expect to win the league. But I want to start winning these games. When you do win the league, these are games that you have to win. So if Van Gaal wants to win the league next season, he's got to start winning the games against the smaller sides at home. Can't be drawing. I understand we're in a little bit of a goalless drought. I think there's going to be a lot of focus on Rooney. There's going to be a lot of pressure on him as well, because, that goal, right time, right place, that's his job. Simple finish, in my opinion. So there's going to be pressure on Rooney, because, it's nice to get the one goal, and that's your first goal in so long, and you got your away goal at Everton, I think it was. But, you have to be scoring week in, week out, or creating and putting good performances on when you put that shirt on. And, it's just not good enough at some time. And, it's not good enough to be good once every 6 weeks either. So, like I said, the pressure's only going to build. It's a very interesting transitional season right now, because the way I see it, Rooney, I think this is his last year being a first team, first guy on the team sheet, captain, performer. But it's just a strange year, because we're not going to win the title, but we should be in the picture. And if we're not, we'll be disappointed. But we still want to, I want to win the FA Cup. Just a transitional, weird season. The dead wood is out, so I expect this summer, I expect only quality coming in. I don't expect much going out.
Yeah, I think I've called it a transitional season as well, where we saw the deadwood got cleared out last season, and this season's about building, about his philosophy, about how they control play. It's a very Dutch style of total football that Van Gaal sets up. But then he's got to start adding this attacking part in as well, that possibly will come with new players, maybe January and beyond. But I would like to see us possibly just do that in the changes he makes. Like, I'm not entirely sure where Herrera fits into this now, and he's never seemed to be a fan of Herrera for some strange reason, despite him playing like superbly. So, for me, does he drop? Does he push Rooney up, put Martel on the left, drop Mata, put Lindegaard out wide, so you put two pacey players that will go out there, full backs, and then bring Herrera and play him in that number 10 role, who can create space, movement, and also some creative passes as well. I don't see it. I just don't see why he would want to bring in Herrera. He seems to have some sort of dislike to him, or he just uses him for certain games and here, there, and everywhere. It just seems a bit odd. But yeah, it's a sort of a building season. I'd love for us to go on and run and get to Christmas and say, right, we're up amongst the top three. We're only 4 or 5 points off at the moment. That's not that hard to catch up, especially with the fact that City have never been that consistent a team. Arsenal, you pointed it out there, Jeremy Pasha pointed it out in the review that we've done as well for CSK. He pointed out that they get trounced, which won't do them any favours at all, confidence-wise. I'm not entirely sure who they play this weekend. I think they may have got a bigger team. So that would be quite an interesting one. I thought, let's have a nosy who they do play this weekend. Spurs, yeah, exactly. So Spurs that are, I thought it was one of the higher up the league teams. So Spurs that are just finding some form as well. They're coming up the table. What they're up to 5th now, I think 6th possibly. So yeah, I think that could be a key game for them. North London derby at the wrong time possibly for them. United get 3 points. Backing behind City. City, I think are playing Norwich. So I think that it's going to be an interesting weekend. But I think United need the vital 3 points here and now. Quickly, a score prediction then, Joey. What do you reckon, pal?
I'm going to go against the run of results lately. I'm going to say 3-0. It has to be. We're too good to not put 3 goals past them. And defensively, Mike Smalling's been huge. Rojo has filled in at left back. Right back is the worry because Valencia's not going to be fit. Darmian's suspended. So I expect Ashley Young to come in, but it's got to be 3-0. I would like to see Martial get back on the score sheet. I want to see him again scoring consistently through the middle too. I don't want to see him out wide.
Yeah, I think at this point in time, after watching that game against the SK the other night, I'd like us to score more than one goal, because that was just torturous at times and very, very nervy Old Trafford. And I don't want that again this Saturday, especially if I've had a few beers. It just could be quite annoying. So yeah, I'd go with 2-0 and get a comfortable win. Obviously, my two would be to see Martial score again, possibly even Rooney instead of, if it wasn't Martial, but Jesse Lingard for me. He just deserves a goal after the past 4 performances. Guys, that's it for our preview. Get your comments in below what you think it's going to be, scoreline, what do you think the final score is going to be. Would you like to see some sort of changes that we've not suggested there? Thanks, Joey, for coming on, pal. Hope you've enjoyed it, mate. We will catch you on Stretty Sundays on Sunday. If you're not already subscribed, I said this in the previous video, what the hell are you doing? Get subscribed. There's so much great content coming up, interviews, as well as us making the regular videos as well. So make sure you subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and we will see you on Sunday. See you later, Reds. Go United!